I was not on the slate to do the first two lines. I went in and did the middle lines, where I sing, "Here's to you, raise a glass for everyone." I did that bit, underneath that burning sun. And when once that was done, I thought that was it, and it was a case of waiting around to film the big choruses. But then I got a message to go back into the studio. I thought maybe I needed to do it again, and they said, "No, could you try the first two lines?" And I tried the first two lines. I toured with Midge in about 2019. I toured America with Midge. I said, "Midge, I've never asked how come I got the first two lines. It's only been 35 years, or so." And I said, "What made you choose me?" He went, "Well, we didn't choose you. We tried a few other people as well." And I went, "Oh, okay." But I obviously won the race, and I got the first few lines. There was a girl that was temping as a secretary, so she wasn't working there all the time. She was just standing in for a few weeks or a month or so. And she was a fan of my old band, the Q-Tips, that I was in, the soul band. And she heard this song being played from his room, his office, and she walked in and she said, "That'd be a good song for Paul Young." So he sent it to me, and I know this fan. I still know her now, and we keep in touch, and we always laugh about that, And she's now working in the music business, and she works with a company that does the Isle of Wight festival, and she's always loved music, so she had a good ear. I actually knew her personally because she was so sweet when she was young. Her and her mother invited us around for tea, and this was a 7-piece band, and we all went round had tea at her house. So we kind of knew each other anyway. And then she loved the business so much she wanted to get into it. It was the record company that were more interested in the soul side of me, because when I did do that song, they said, "What made you do that song? It doesn't show you off at your best." And so I said, "Yeah, but not every track I do has to be hell for leather showing me my best. I just wanted to make good pop records. That was my modus operandi, really." And I heard it on the radio as a reggae song, and I thought, "Oh, I know of a great way that I could do that," And we played around with it for a while. First of all, it was difficult to get out of the reggae version in my head. So I thought, well, reggae's got some kind of pulse to it, and it's always there, So I thought, okay, I'll create a different kind of pulse, and it's a kind of an SOS thing that goes da 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 da, da. So it's like Morse code almost. And so I created that, and once I'd got that, then I knew it would take me away from the version that I'd heard. And I then found out, of course, it was written in the 50s and been covered a lot through the 60s. It's something that everybody knows. And it's one of the first things they used to tell us at school about Morse code, that as a kid, of course, we thought, "Oh, wow, it's amazing that might not be able to reach somebody by radio, but you could tap a code and they would hear it, and be able to locate you." So it must have been in the back of a lot of our heads. I suppose I've come across as fairly a clean living individual, but I do have my pranky side. So I talk a little bit about the pranking that we used to do when we were on the road. I guess it's a bit of an English thing, whereby it's harmless. It's kind of school kid fun, really. I know Rod Stewart's pretty much the same as well. And him and his band used to prank a lot and find the same things amusing. And so we used to get, it wasn't like, say, Motley Crue or things where hotel rooms would get busted, and all that kind of thing. We would just, we didn't have a lot of money, so we'd choose one bedroom. We go, right, let's all be in that bedroom, if they wouldn't open the bar. So then we'd all be in that room. So that's a lot of us. It's a 7-piece band. And if we've invited anybody back, of course, it's rammed. So someone would fall over a table like there is here, and the legs would break off, and all stuff like that. You think, "Oh no, what are we going to do? We can't afford to pay for the damage." So we used to carry a toolbox and put it back together. Certain pranking that we used to do. One was you would get the keys to somebody in the band. You'd get the keys to their hotel room, and you would, when we were staying in small rooms, then we'd have single beds. So it was possible to be able to get every piece of furniture, lamps, nightstands, tables, beds, mattresses, the whole lot, into the bathroom. So we would basically empty the whole room, and then we'd all go out to drinking afterwards, knowing that the poor guy's going to come back drunk and to an empty room. And then he'd try to go into the bathroom and it would either all fall out on top of him or he couldn't open the door. So that was one. And then the other thing was super glue had just been invented. So we break in and super glue their underpants and socks and everything to the ceiling. Well, the rooms are a little bit better. Hotel rooms. I've always loved touring. And when I'm not doing my solo shows, I've got a Tex-Mex band, and we've been doing that for over 30 years now. So I love everything so much that although it's changed, you know, things are much better now and a little bit more, you know, a little bit more classy and more space to relax and things like that. So I love all that about it. The coaches are a lot better, for sure. And but then I'm still able to go back to not even a little tour bus, you know, a basic van thing with windows. We travel ourselves with this Tex-Mex band and stay in very cheap hotels. Doesn't bother me at all. That's not what I'm there for. I'm there because I love getting on stage and performing with my friends, you know, and on the Paul Young show. It's something completely different. So that keeps me, just when I'm getting bored doing Paul Young stuff, I go and play with my friends, and it's a different type of music. So a change is as good as the rest, as they say.